The first time I saw my boss outside the office, really saw her, was on a Tuesday I'd promised myself would be peaceful. After months of overtime, emails at 1 a.m., and a workload heavy enough to bend steel, I took a day off and drove to the quiet end of Clearwater Beach. I just wanted silence. Sand. Waves. A moment to breathe. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. I had just sat down on my towel when a shadow fell over me. I looked up, and nearly swallowed my tongue. It was her. Amelia Hart. My boss. The woman whose voice could make grown consultants cry. The CEO who walked like she owned the earth and most days, actually did. She stood there in sunglasses, hair tied up, wearing a white sun hat and a beach outfit that made it impossible for my brain to process the situation. And then she said the sentence that froze time. "Where are you looking?" "My eyes are up here." My soul left my body. I wasn't. I didn't expect. I wasn't looking. I stammered like a man auditioning for the role of awkward employee number one. She laughed. An actual laugh. Not the polite corporate one, but the kind that made her sound human. "Relax, Daniel. I'm just teasing." I exhaled so hard the seagulls backed up. The unexpected twist. She dropped her beach bag beside me. "Mind if I sit? Everything else is crowded." "Mind if she sit here next to me?" My brain rebooted twice. "Sure," I croaked. She sat, stretched her legs out toward the waves, and let out a sigh so heavy it didn't sound like the woman who ran a multi-million-dollar firm. "You okay?" I asked before I could stop myself. She hesitated. Then said something I never expected. "No. Not really." That made me sit up straight. This was the woman who once led a meeting while having a fever. The woman who told an entire boardroom, "Excuses are for the unprepared." Hearing her sound, fragile, felt surreal. "My father collapsed this morning," she said quietly. "Heart complications." My chest tightened. I'm sorry. Is he okay?" "They're running tests." I left the hospital for a bit because, she glanced at the waves. I needed to breathe without breaking. Something in her voice cracked. Something she'd never let the office see. And at that moment, I forgot she was my boss. She was just a person, tired, scared, trying to stay strong. The moment that changed everything. She pulled her knees up, hugging them. "You ever feel like you have to be the strong one all the time?" she asked. I nodded. My mom raised me alone. I always felt like I had to stay calm so she wouldn't worry. Amelia turned toward me, really looking at me. "What did you do when you felt overwhelmed?" I swallowed. Told myself it's okay to fall apart for 5 minutes, as long as I stand up after. She blinked, surprised. "That's actually good advice." I shrugged. It worked for me. She looked away but her voice softened. "Maybe I need my 5 minutes." And right there, on a quiet stretch of beach, with the waves whispering in the background, she cried. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just quietly, letting the tears fall like she hadn't allowed herself to do in years. I didn't speak. Didn't move. I just sat beside her, letting her know she wasn't alone. Sometimes kindness isn't dramatic. Sometimes it's silence shared with someone on the edge. When she finally wiped her eyes, she whispered. "Thank you, Daniel. I didn't want to break alone." Another unexpected turn. We sat in silence for a while until her phone rang. She hesitated, then answered. "Hello? Yes, this is Amelia." A pause. My heart hammered. Then. Her shoulders sagged in relief. "Thank God. Okay. I'll be there soon." She hung up and turned to me with watery eyes but a relieved smile. He's stable. They say he'll be okay. A breath I didn't realize I'd been holding released. That's good. That's really good. She stood, brushing off sand. Then she did something that shocked me again. She held out her hand. Not a boss's handshake. A human one. I mean it, Daniel. You being here, it helped. I took her hand and she held it for a second longer than necessary. Then she let go, but looked back at me before leaving. And hey, the next time you're looking, I won't tease you. My jaw dropped. I wasn't. She grinned. I know. And she walked away, lighter than before. The uplifting ending. The next morning at work, Amelia passed by my desk. Everyone braced themselves. Amelia never spoke to anyone before 10 a.m. But she stopped beside me, placed a small cup on my desk, and said, "For the guy who taught me it's okay to break for 5 minutes. It was my favorite coffee." She remembered. And maybe it was just that one gentle moment. Or maybe the beach changed something between us. But she looked at me with the kind of warmth you don't forget. And I realized something. Sometimes the most unexpected encounters happen when life finally pushes two people toward kindness. That day taught me something I didn't know I needed. Even the strongest people need a moment. Even leaders need kindness. And sometimes, the smallest compassion can change everything.